gummy bear.
It's the internet, you're busy, let's do this for August 24th, 2022. For the next hour or so, let me help you sort through the world of gaming on Game S Mornings Live with me, Jeff Grubb. Today, we have news about Pokemon cars and new Spotify exclusive podcasts because this is a video game podcast. But first, please join me in welcoming today's co-host for Game S Mornings. It's Mike Minotti and AJ Minotti. Hello! From the clan Minotti.
I had to bring backups. I knew I was going to the Grubb den.
Yes.
I couldn't come alone.
Yes, you wouldn't come out of your live.
It was dangerous to go alone, so we brought this.
That's right.
So you guys literally pulled in 5 minutes before we started the show. Were you guys worried at all? Were you driving unsafe? How was it?
No, I didn't tell AJ to go a little faster or anything at all. It was fine.
I'm glad you guys made it. This is fun. I've been doing all these shows virtual, never done one live in person. So I set up our Spanish announce table.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to be putting Jeff through it.
It's going to
be great.
And I did not prime it, so it's going to really hurt. We also got our Ryan Reynolds coloring book if you want to hold up the props.
There we go. We got, see, look, there's all sorts of fun things you could color in here. Like, there's Ryan Reynolds and The Rock.
Yeah.
Enjoy your gaming, I guess. Oh, that's terrifying. This is fun. Talk about this.
Yeah, the Sega Visions mag. I got that from Video Game History Foundation. I should actually go through this on a stream or something.
You can meet Toe Jam and Earl. And there's a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, that's that real stuff.
And I don't know, this is hanging out. This is a very good game, by the way. If you haven't played Donkey Kong the Game
94.
Boy,
Yep.
Oh man, that's a classic.
maybe the best Game Boy game.
Well, before we get into today's message, let's explain what we do here. Each weekday, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news, the catch-up where we discuss the biggest topics consuming the lives of gamers everywhere, and maybe even bring some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I will get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. That's AJ today.
All the insults.
If you're watching live, welcome. Welcome, Twitch. We appreciate it. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds. You can find the RSS on giantbomb.com or just search those podcast feeds for Game Mess Mornings. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. We appreciate you showing up. Okay, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with Gamescom opening night live was happening during the Bombcast yesterday. I think I'm feeling pretty good about not talking over it because it seemed kind of, I don't know, there was a lot of CG trailers.
There were a lot of CG trailers, and I know that's often a complaint about these things. Mm-hmm. It felt like a lot, and it was a lot for new IP, and the only reason you do a CG trailer, I feel like, is to hype people up. And it's just hard to hype people up if people don't know what it is or they're not already excited about before they even see it, right?
Right, and it's like they're doing it still in that style recently of we are just going to show the trailer. This is a Sony PlayStation showcase where we're just going to show the game and no one's talking over it, no one's explaining much, and it almost feels like you could do that if you're Sony PlayStation. If you're like a game that's coming from a third party and we're not sure your track record or whatever, immediately, it's time to I don't know. I feel like maybe a hype voice over it, more like those VHS tapes from Toys R Us for the Midway thing.
You keep going back to the Midway VHS.
But that's what these things are.
That's all we had in the 90s.
Yeah, but that's all these things still are. But somehow it's those did this better. I don't know. I got more excited back then for those than I am for these.
I guess, yeah, and Alto just said this in the chat, and it's interesting. I guess the one nice thing about the CG trailer is your actual staff probably doesn't have to work on that very much, huh? You just outsource that to one of these studios.
That's very likely one of the main reasons they end up doing this, right? Is they are working on the game, and they don't want to take any time away from that to create an asset for Jeff Keighley. No, that wasn't going to happen. Right. I've highlighted some of the things here. I wrote down all the games on our list here, but only a few I highlighted I thought were actually worth talking about. But we can at least name drop everything. Everywhere was the Leslie Benzies game that we've been waiting to hear about for a long time.
I was so confused by this.
I think everyone was.
Because it's he's talking about is this a metaverse thing? Is this open world thing? Then it started showing some gameplay stuff. There was a lot of cars. I was like, wait, is this a racing game?
Well, it's got to have cars because it's got to be it looks like GTA Online meets Fortnite.
And so let me throw that out as the guy who didn't quite understand who this dude was. I wasn't making this whole Grand Theft Auto Online leap in my head. I just was who's this guy? People seem to know him. I don't. Keeley, when he's talking on stage, he's like, what is this? Like, what are we playing? He never answered the question. It's like, okay, it's just everywhere. Great, cool.
And that's like such a weird, like, people are willing to do a little bit of work to show up to these things, but then they also still want to control their message so much that you get these weird things where it's like, what is this? Haha, that's fun. We'll answer that question someday.
Yeah.
This game apparently is coming in 2023. From the trailer we saw, we know that there's shooting, driving, explosions, outer space. It's an open world game.
There was also like a little bit where like you saw like the realistic humans. So it's like, are you playing a game within a game?
Yeah, like there's different art styles. Like, now, it's all over the place.
They never said the word blockchain or NFT, but like all the way they're talking like, this is just as much about the community. This is the community's game. There's gonna be so much like community ownership and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know. I'm feeling a little scared here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I don't know. Leslie Benzies does have a track record with GTA Online, so they're probably going to go in that direction. But yeah, I mean, they're working with Nexon. It's a Nexon game, right? Or NetEase?
So.
I can't remember.
I don't think it's NetEase. I think it's Nexon.
I think that's right. Yeah, but either way, it's like they have a pathway to go towards all kinds of weird monetization schemes.
Mm-hmm. It's clearly got a lot of money and hope behind it. Like they seem like they want to position it as the next big thing. We'll see how that works out.
Then there was Dune Awakening. This is Funcom's survival open world MMO. I don't know. This is another CGI trailer.
Yeah. Another CGI trailer.
I mean, what's the last game Funcom made?
Well, I don't know if it's the last one, but they did the Conan survival MMO.
Right.
So
I still think of them as the Anarchy Online guys.
Anarchy Online. You liked Anarchy Online.
I did like Anarchy Online.
So this would be really exciting for you. This could be very Anarchy Online adjacent.
Yeah, we're getting real Anarchy vibes here.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like it's a nice, expensive CG trailer. There's a pedigree here. The IP's hot right now. It looks very specifically like it's doing the movie aesthetic also.
Yes.
So as a tie-in, I think it could work out. Not necessarily my genre, Jeff.
Right. I mean, I get into a survival game every once in a while, but I don't know. I feel like this one's going to come out and probably just miss me. If everyone's talking about it.
It'll find a similar audience to Conan. It's not like Conan sets the world on fire, but people like it.
That's probably right.
Dune IP a bit more relevant now than the Conan IP was when that came out, so that could help.
How many male genitalia will be in this game? Then?
Right. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of penis. Without a doubt.
You not played Conan? Or seen video of it?
I mean,
you start naked in that game. That's stark naked.
Stark naked.
And it's my background on my computer, as you guys cannot be
stark 16. Naked. I didn't think it was Game of Thrones.
It's a Marvel thing.
Okay, now get out of the house.
That's why he told me to bring AJ so he could just replace me.
That's right.
Then we got Hogwarts Legacy, which looked pretty grim and dark.
Well, which child has to torture the other one?
Right. Well, okay.
What?
So I get that someone mentioned, when you mentioned this online, someone's like, this is just a side quest. It's not what the whole game's going to be like. And I'm like, well, this is what Harry Potter has been like for 10 years since those new movies started.
It's been getting, look,
how many babies can we kill in this?
The second, with the Crimes of Grindelwald, they killed 2 babies in that movie. They become grim, dark bummers.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, the one Harry Potter thing that I think still actually works is just the theme park stuff. Because you just go there, and it's like, ha, do you want to buy candy?
Right.
Yeah, like, it's fun.
The theme park enables me to, like, somewhat, or I've never been there, but the idea of the theme park would, like, enable me to put maybe J.K. Rowling to the side. This is just, like, this is miserable, and then it makes me wallow in the fact that this is still a J.K. Rowling
It just reminds me of how much, like, I've lost interest in this IP.
Yes.
Like, which is an IP I love.
Same.
Until they started just, like you said, going this weird, dark direction. Everything's dark.
Yeah.
Why is it so dark?
I feel like they think that the audience is getting older, so this is where they need to go. But I'm like...
But that's not... And I said this before, Pokemon did the opposite of that. And at first I was frustrated with it. But I was like, Pokemon's not growing up with me. Guess what is still always popular and always attracting new generations is Pokemon. Because it's just
yeah, and like
targeting that audience
right.
still.
And it's like, that's the thing that will just age our... Like, we'll move our taste to like stay with something that's kind of staying the same more than I think that a property trying to move with us can easily miss the target like Harry Potter has. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
There was a new Tales from the Borderlands trailer. Did this leak? They've announced this before.
I forget if I think they announced it. Maybe it did leak. I can't remember.
Like the silhouettes of the characters came out the day before.
Right. No, not even day before. Like we knew about this.
We knew the game was
did.
coming. I couldn't remember if that was an official announcement. We knew they were making.
This was one of the better like Telltale games. So.
Right.
it's coming back.
But this one, so I didn't finish the first one. These are all new characters and everything, right?
I didn't play the other one.
I didn't recognize any of these people.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of the once the Telltale games became less like old school inventory adventure games and it was just talking to people.
People love Tales from the Borderlands, though.
They do.
It was well written. It looked like Borderlands, which was good.
They announced it in April.
Thanks,
Thank
Marino.
you. Thanks, Marino. I thought they did.
Let's see, Word Song, which is former Bethesda Game Studios designer Jeff Gardner and Obsidian Entertainment alumnus Charlie Staples formed Something Wicked Games and announced Word Song on Tuesday.
Was this another CG trailer? Because I don't remember.
I don't
remember this.
I'm just going to bring this up. I know it's like...
I should point out there's a Charlie Staples barbecue in Youngstown.
Oh, well, maybe that's the same guy.
There was a Charlie Cleveland on this show somewhere.
Right, this is the one where, like, this wasn't even a CGI trailer. It was just animated, like, concept art.
Oh, no.
So that's why I don't remember.
Right, yeah, it just leaves your brain
So
immediately.
again, it's like they're trying to get you that Bethesda pedigree.
Yes, right, that was the whole...
That's not how you spell word. Word doesn't have a Y in it. Silly developers.
Dead Island 2, which I suppose this was the actual re-reveal of Dead Island 2.
Yes, we had the fake out at the... Was that at Summer Game Fest?
Yeah, that was Goat Simulator,
which was also at this show.
Right, but then they also this is leaked multiple times between then and now, right? Where like, oh, it's coming back and it has a release date and all that stuff. It is coming out. It was originally announced in 2014, re-revealed now at Gamescom 2022. There are 6 playable characters with a pulpy, irreverent tone. It's expected out on February 3rd for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox. Xbox.
And not on an island.
No, well, not yet. Give the fault line a bit more time.
Yeah, right.
Oh, is that what happens?
You've seen
LA finally broke off?
You've seen Escape from LA. That's all going to be an island eventually.
So this was the last game they showed, and it was weird because again it was a CG trailer first, and I made like a snarky tweet. I think Tam made a snarky tweet too. It's like that was new, and then they showed a gameplay trailer.
Right.
Like the gameplay trailer actually looks really good. It's
does.
like,
Yeah.
why didn't you just show that?
Yep. I mean, again, I think they probably have a CG trailer because they need it for advertising. So why not just send both to Keighley and get a big time slot there at the end? Look how much time we're taking up of the opening night live. Maybe that's the thing.
I mean, it's certainly
that gameplay trailer did look very good.
It did look, and I've been over a zombie thing for a long time, but I'm like, okay, that looks good. The character animation actually looks pretty impressive, especially compared to like a lot of games we get these days.
Yeah, let's see here. Then we got the Callisto Protocol, another trailer that's still coming December 2nd. Where are you guys at with the Callisto Protocol?
I mean, I'm in on it. I don't necessarily need to see more, but I'm impressed by their marketing for this one. They're making sure people see. You're not into it?
I don't know. This one was just like, look, we're going to fall down a waterfall for a long time and then violently get killed.
You love falling down waterfalls. You go on
like,
Splash Mountain like 5 times each trip.
I don't know, it just was a really long waterfall, okay?
I thought that was better. It's a longer drive. I don't know.
Here's the gamer in me watching that scene go, okay, you fall down this waterfall for 2 minutes, get cut in half.
Yeah.
Help me.
That means now you have to go back to the top of the waterfall and do it again and try not to get cut in half again.
I need a penalty box to put them in when they start bickering.
Okay, fine. You know what? Fine, AJ. You'll see. It's gonna be your favorite game, I bet.
We'll see.
You're gonna love those waterfalls. You're gonna complain. 2 out of 5.
Waterfalls of the year.
Enough waterfalls in Callisto Protocol.
You're going to play Dead Space. There's no waterfalls. I don't feel anything. Right?
That's gonna be the next ride at Universal, next to Nintendo Land's Callisto Protocol Land.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a long flume ride.
It's a water ride. Weird. No, they're appealing to the AJ Minotti audience out there. Genshin Impact update.
Sure.
Yes. Honkai. I can't remember the Honkai.
Genshin in space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like everything else at this show.
Which is this, it also has like the same voice actors from Genshin Impact. So like I was just kind of like listening to this on the back, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yes. You're right. This actually, I was watching this during the show, and it went from Genshin to Honkai, and I'm like, "This is still the same game." And then I saw the space train or whatever. I was like, okay. Friends versus Friends, which I thought looked pretty good, but it was another.
We can play Friends versus Friends right now.
Do this every
Not you.
time.
I'm my friend. Get away from me.
It's a CG trailer, but at least it was like kind of fun and colorful in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it stood out a little bit than from like the games that all looked like Destiny or whatever.
A second of gameplay too. Gotham Knights.
Actually, the best this game has looked. I've been relatively down on Gotham Knights. This was the best trailer they've had for this game.
My feed died, and I missed this whole one. I didn't go back to it.
Well, it was just like a lot of in-game stuff, some story stuff. The tone seemed right this time. You saw Mr. Freeze. I like Mr. Freeze. There was a lot of what's that guy named Clayman? I'm not the biggest Clay fighter.
All I was thinking he was Muck from Pokemon is what I kept thinking.
Well, his
and then I'm like,
good.
that's spelled backwards, whatever. You guys notice how the thing holding up the microphone is about to fall over? So when the microphone, like, AJ, you're in charge in case it falls down. I got it.
We're fiddling with it now, so this is what happened. This is just making me more nervous.
Yeah.
Now it's further away from Jeff. We got this.
We're good.
Nothing's gonna break.
Nothing is gonna break.
No,
The Spanish announce table is solid and will last forever.
It's hard. Stop.
Where Winds Meet, which is it looks like a Chinese sort of kung fu game.
Yes. It had it kind of like an open world vibe. I'm like terrified of saying it looks like Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, I know Japan is different from China.
Yes, right.
But
yes.
it does still kind of.
You'll get your butt
like,
spanked in the chat
yes,
for sure. I thought it too when it first came.
I know samurai are not from China.
Right.
Please don't attack me. But it does like have a bit of that. Although the water running reminded me of like Ninja Gaiden.
Yes, there was a lot of Ninja Gaiden vibes. Because you just did that on stream like last night.
Yeah, I've been playing Ninja Gaiden on our Game Club Sigma, and I've been enjoying it. But yeah, so I was very much in a Ninja Gaiden mindset. So maybe that's why I'm seeing Ninja Gaiden there. But there's a bit of
There's
it.
definitely some Ninja Gaiden there. Park Beyond, which is a roller coaster theme park sim. This is your area of expertise.
I'm into it. Stealthily delayed to 2023. They
Okay.
originally said 2022 for this one, but it's been not to no one's real big surprise. It's pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in a long time. Bandai Namco, like, who's developing this? Does this have like a pedigree? Or?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought it was did Bandai Namco developed like the old theme park games. I thought there was some kind of connection to that, but maybe not. But it looks good.
This is like much more fantastical theme parks,
Well-
like roller coasters that launch in the air and fly.
Right, yeah. They're actually,
There's not a lot of real physics going on.
Right.
And
like,
we already have Planet Coaster, which is very good at like letting you do whatever you want.
Is there one that is like super into the physics and stuff? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm-
Planet Coaster
Coaster's
is
pretty
very,
legit,
it's like
yeah.
more hardcore sim, pretty intense. This one seems a bit more like simplified and
it's a play
fun.
toy,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think it can kind of be adjacent of that pretty nicely.
Then we got to the thing I'm still most confused about. So it's playing right now if you're watching the video. Lies of P.
To be clear, it was the best thing on the show.
Oh, yeah, I mean, as I've seen this trailer come up, it's like this looks great, but am I still like, okay? All I can think about is the Pauly Shore Pinocchio movie. Does that make me a bad guy?
Mamma mia! A talking puppet!
And I still haven't seen that movie, but like, okay,
No one's seen that movie.
it's number one on my list to be seen. This is Lies of P. The P refers to Pinocchio, but are you actually playing as Pinocchio?
I think you're playing as, I don't want to say grimdark Pinocchio, but kind of. I mean,
yeah.
You're playing as Bloodborne Pinocchio.
the game is Bloodborne. We'll make our own Bloodborne with Pinocchio and hookers.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks really good. I mean, that it's definitely scratching that itch. It's all gameplay here. It looks very high end. I mean, I kind of like that idea of like, what if Pinocchio was like serious? Like, that's silly enough to kind of work. Why not?
Yeah.
I also think of that the Italian guy that won the Oscar, and then he made.
The guy was buddies with Billy Crystal.
Yeah, and then
He always chased him with a net or something.
right.
at
Then
the
he made a
Oscars.
Pinocchio that
But he was
starred
like
in.
48 years old.
Yeah, and he's like in this like little toy boy outfit, and I'm like, that's good stuff.
What's that guy's name? Bertolini?
Bertolini, that sounds right. I would love to mod him into this game, and then I'll play. Then that'll be what
I am realizing how shameless the From Software stuff is because like you also have the mechanical arm like Sekiro. But hey, like whatever, go get it.
Whatever. Like, of course, people are copying those games. They were like game of the year every time they come out.
right.
So yeah.
Actually, yeah. Someone who said this, Nick says in chat, it actually won't have anything darker than the donkey scene from Pleasure Island in the Disney version of Pinocchio. No, nothing will be more disturbing than that.
Let's see, Phantom Hellcat, which now another one I'm forgetting.
Yes.
A new studio, Ironbird Creations from publishers All In Games announced its new game, Phantom Hellcat, a 3D hack and slash game, has a teen protagonist hunting down evil. No word on a release date. Let's see if we can take a look.
Yes, please, for my benefit.
I know, yeah. It's it's one of these games. I don't know. It's a character action game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. Would Bacalar say this game is important?
I think he would border on saying maybe it could be important.
It doesn't seem unimportant.
It doesn't seem unimportant. Thank you very much. Goat Simulator 3 gameplay. Return to Monkey Island will be released September 19th.
I am
Mike.
shocked that's so soon. I thought that was going to be like November.
See, I'm not too surprised it's that soon. I had a feeling it was going to come sooner
I'm
rather
very
than later.
excited.
But I'm very excited for
Yeah.
it. We are both big Monkey Island fans, both big LucasArts adventure game fans. We really kind of grew up with those.
And in terms of like the more you see the art, where you
I never was bothered with the art.
I love the art from the get-go.
Good, okay.
I don't know if
I was never anti that art style.
I don't know if I love it. I don't have complaints about it. It looks better than the 3D ones.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it looks better than the last two still.
I also
Curse of
love-
Monkey Island, like, actually being a cartoon will probably never be topped.
Right.
But this looks good.
I really like what they're doing with their pre-order bonus, where you get the horse armor.
Yes, I saw that.
But
Yeah,
it just doesn't do anything. It just sits in your inventory.
I'm glad it's an outdated joke. Like,
Right.
You don't want Monkey Island making new jokes.
Right, like
that would be.
it's
They
very
can't.
well done.
it feels like because Monkey Island did it. Oh, that joke is actually now timeless. The horse. It's a timeless gaming joke. Horse armor.
Yes, but just dated enough.
Right.
In
Well,
a way that's cozy for me.
Yeah, I mean, I saw people pointing out like that's a really old joke. No one was saying it and like, oh, this is a bad thing for the game.
Because Stan's the one giving it to
Right.
you too, so that you know
No,
Stan.
that's not Stan's voice actor from Chris Monkey Island. Is it the one from Escape?
EMI either.
Okay, new Stan.
Was he in Tales?
Oh, I'm sure he showed up at Tales at some point, but I
can't remember. In Tales.
I've been replaying through the series. I haven't made it to his appearance in Tales yet, so I forget
it's
who's
not
voice actor
CMI or
was.
Escape from Monkey Island.
Okay.
Stan. So
They should just recast Stan every time now at this point.
there you go. That's the joke.
As you might have heard on this show a few weeks ago, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, is real.
I love how you did say this like a couple weeks ago. It's still like that one didn't really circulate for some reason, so everybody was still shocked that this showed up.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, wow, that's such a surprise announcement. I'm like, well, I see you don't watch my show. It's weird because like we could say like something like really subtly, and it'll end up on every blog.
Yeah,
everywhere.
like,
Yeah, but then you like overtly say this thing's coming.
This thing is coming. Everyone's like,
We even had that happen as something last night, to be honest,
Yeah.
on Lessons.
Yeah, even Keeley at the show is like, here's a movie adaptation you didn't expect.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you watch.
I'm like, Jeff Keighley, you're in my Discord. You know. All right.
That's why I didn't say Batman is dead this time, because we made too many jokes about it. Now we can't have fun.
It's a 3v7. I mean, it's what we said. It's a 3v7 sort of asymmetrical multiplayer combat game where 3 players place the clowns. It looks like you're chasing them down. You probably got to take them to your spaceship in the giant cotton candy things, and then the players got to try to help get their fellow players out of it. It seems like a good idea for an IP that everyone knows about, no one really talks about.
Right. I've heard of this. You told me about it.
Like visually, I had no recollection of it, but I've heard of it.
I kept forgetting what you actually told me, and I kept thinking it was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes instead.
I'm sure they're in that same wheelhouse.
That's the next asymmetrical horror game throwback to come out.
Let's see here. Then we have High on Life, another trailer for that.
Some people were really annoyed by this trailer because it was like a boss fight, and I mean, the guns are talking to you. And there's really no effort to make the guns not sound like Morty Smith or Rick and Morty.
He's got his voices, he's going to do them.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like when the South Park guys, they just sound like the South Park characters no matter what they do.
I'm not as bothered by it as some, but I can totally understand people.
Oh, if you're over it,
then
this is just going to be really grating.
The question with this game ultimately is going to be like, is there like unique dialogue throughout the whole thing? Is it going to repeat at some point?
I hope it's like
weird
Gex.
quiet stretches?
I hope there's actually 5 lines and you just hear them over and over again.
Moving Out 2 is coming in 2023.
I don't remember Moving Out 1. I hate movies.
Big Stadia game.
Moving's the worst thing you can do. I don't want to play. Even that unpacking that people liked, I don't want to move.
But I don't like murdering, but I still play lots of shooters.
I love murdering.
That's the difference between me and you. Yeah,
That's my favorite activity.
The Lords of the Fallen, which... Okay,
this is a sequel, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to go at. This is a sequel to Lords of the Fallen. They put the on there for the sequel, and I'm like kind of freaking out about that.
Well, it was Lords of the Fallen 2, and now isn't that the best when that's how something is a sequel now? When it's not, I think the Suicide Squad. That was awful. Like why we that didn't work for that, right? Like that movie.
That movie was way better and did way worse. Obviously, it was during the pandemic and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean. This is just confusing and weird. There was another, like, Frank, I'm not going to be able to remember, another series that did this recently where it's like, oh, we're combining all 3 games. So it's like, we're just going to add an S to the end of the title we used for everything else.
When is it The Giant Bomb? When is like the next big reboot happening?
Right now, Mike, you showed up, it's The Giant Bomb.
It's The Giant Bomb now.
Stranded Alien Dawn, a space survival game. So mashing up, like, 2 of the things.
Oh, right,
like
right.
When
Another CG trailer.
Right, when you reach your hand in the bag for, I have a game to show up at opening night live. It's going to be, is it survival? Is it space? Is it zombies? They picked out space and survival.
I could be fun for people who like these games. Probably not my thing.
Yeah, it looked, I mean, from what they showed and what I could glean from the CG, looked fine. Under the Waves in 2023, this was Quantic Dreams is working on this with Parallel
Quantic
Studios.
Dreams is publishing
That's kind of, I thought that might be the case. Okay, Quantic Dreams publishing, Parallel Studios, another CG trailer, but it kind of had a good vibe. It had a different vibe from everything else, so I was kind of into it. Like a ocean sort of exploring game. I don't know. Sonic Frontiers is coming November 8th. We
Finally a good game.
Hey, well, this is the trailer. Like, why didn't they start here?
Well, I mean,
guess it wasn't
I think
ready.
things are coming in hot with
That's true,
Sonic
but like just
Frontiers.
the variety on
Well-
display here was like, because that was the complaint with the game, was like, it's this empty world with nothing in it.
Because they had that weird thing with IGN where they're like a whole month of stuff, so they were
Right.
drip feeding things in a way that I think hurt them.
Made no sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, even the people who are down on it, think that this trailer looks a lot better than some of the other ones because we see these linear level things that you get to do. We saw a new biome with like this desert area.
Yep.
I played this at a Summer Game Fest.
Did you play a lot of the stuff that we were seeing here?
No.
Okay.
I was
just
in
the
that.
open world,
I was in
right?
that Breath of the Wild grassy area, and I got to go to like one of these like linear levels, and I thought it was fun. It was definitely buggy. I can understand why a lot of people were like, maybe this is a game that should get delayed. I talked to I forget his name, the Sonic guy, and he's like, I specifically asked him like, is this game gonna get delayed? And
They're very adamant.
he's like, no, it is coming out this year. Not like, game development can be challenging sometimes. I was like, no, it's coming out.
Well, you were like the 8th person to ask him that hour or whatever,
Probably.
because that's like only anyone else is like or wants to ask, is it getting delayed? I don't. This is the best it's looked.
Yes.
Yeah. What kills me about Sonic still is like, there's CG trailer elements to what they show that like we're looking at right now. The game should look like that.
Yeah, at this
Yeah.
point,
It
really.
kills me that they don't treat Sonic like a legit AAA franchise with like all the clout that deserves.
I mean, you're right, because like Crash Bandicoot 4, the gameplay actually does pretty much just look like that now,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, well, hey, look, this game's
I
got
mean,
to run on
it's
Switch.
got to run on the Switch.
What,
Yeah.
did Crash 4 come on Switch? Because I know
Yeah, it did.
All right, never mind.
It
then.
did. Code.
Never mind then.
Ported, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I started playing Sonic Frontiers finally for the first
I mean,
time.
Forces.
Or Forces. That game's super dark.
Yeah, well,
It's the Sonic is dead of Sonic
yeah,
games.
that's the one where
What?
Knuckles tells Vector, the crocodile, like, there's nothing good about this Vector. That's why it's called War.
I've learned so much from Sonic.
Just incredible. But that's also where you get to make your own OC furry character.
Yeah, I made one that didn't look awful.
Sonic gave me the
Proud of that.
confidence to make love to my wife again. Let's see. Atlas Fallen. Let's see. This is a PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X.
That sure is the name for a video game.
Yeah, coming in 2023. The Outlast Trials, which I think is a multiplayer. Yeah, it's a multiplayer Outlast game. Those horror.
Yeah.
Games. So
Yeah.
now they're going multiplayer. That's strange. Moonbreaker, Subnautica developers. It's a Hearthstone meets XCOM tactics game with miniatures.
The neat thing here is like you paint the miniatures.
Yes, exactly. It is actual miniature.
Right.
Brandon Sanderson, the fantasy author who like finished Wheel of Time, he did the Mistborn trilogy, or I forget if it's a trilogy, the books, is like writing on this one. So that could be interesting. I used to listen to a podcast Sanderson was on a lot, so when he started talking, it like freaked me out for a moment.
Right.
He was like, it's 2010 again.
Let's see. Homeworld 3 coming in 2023.
This looks good. I mean, it looked a lot different than a lot of the other games, right?
Right,
So-
yeah, and Homeworld is, I remember Homeworld. I think I pirated Homeworld when I was like a little shithead, and that's like one of the first strategy games I ever played. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm ready for another
That
one
game
of
has
those.
such a vibe and a mood to it.
Yes,
I love
exactly. And they showed like, the little ships turning really fast like they would when you give them a new command. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks just like Homeworld.
Yeah.
The Expanse, a Telltale series. I've tried to start The Expanse, and it didn't immediately hook me. I think
I haven't watched it.
I don't watch TV, but
Yeah.
I pretty much just play video games and watch wrestling. I know what a Mikey is.
You gotta be like, I don't even own a TV. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Ever since you got a Steam Deck, yeah, just threw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you need it.
Dwarf Romantic is coming to Switch on September 29th. That's a game that's available elsewhere, but coming to the Switch now. You ever wonder like which one of these things paid to be a part of the show? And you think like,
Well, I mean, they literally have like the
there's also
commercial breaks, like,
yeah.
and it's one of the reasons why the show is 2 hours long, which it feels so long. Maybe it's because I'm covering it. Maybe people are just
No,
watching
I
for
felt
fun.
when we hit like the first hour, I was like, this isn't over yet.
No, there's a whole another hour to go. Especially in that first hour, I already got the Sonic Frontiers and Monkey Island release dates I was hoping for.
Right.
So I was like, oh, we got a whole another hour of this to go. It feels long.
Then there was Scars Above, yet another.
Oh, my
SNES
scars
game.
are below.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. And then the DualSense Edge.
Oh, right.
This was interesting because
Yeah.
I mean it's just straight up their Elite controller.
Right. And we, this had leaked. We had heard about this before, and it turns out those leaks were exactly accurate. It has completely like replaceable, swappable analog sticks.
They're swappable. Then like the whole stick mechanism comes
Yeah,
out
the whole
too, it
stick
looks like,
mechanism.
which is like a weird like this might break, but you can replace it kind of.
Exactly.
Because that's what plagues the Elite controllers. So I guess that's just their way around it.
Right.
Make it modular.
And it kind of feels like good to know if I buy a very expensive controller and the sticks break, This is the easiest fix in the world. Just pull them out.
I wish I could replace the face buttons for when they break, like they did on my Elite controller too.
Right. I mean,
it's just you.
It's not. It's a known problem. Oh, shut up.
Mine's fine. Mine's totally fine.
But of course, it didn't happen to everyone, AJ. What do you have stock in the Elite controllers?
Yeah. So I'll be curious to get my hands on this. I mean, like the back triggers and paddles. Like I don't quite understand how they look yet.
right.
That'll be important to feel. It has the kind of stops you can put on the triggers.
Yes.
I wonder if that's like mechanical or if it's just utilizing the dual triggers to like, lock it in that way.
Yeah, because they have the force feedback.
Because games
sticks
do that now.
Yeah.
Like, they can program the game to kind of do that on the PS5.
I wonder if they would not want to like wear down that mechanism. They would do a separate hardware.
That was my thought.
They probably would want to.
They're even going so far as it has the case and you can charge through the case just like the Elite controller does. So.
Yes, that's one of the best parts about the Elite controller.
Yeah, so definitely they took a page from Microsoft, but good because I like the DualSense controller and.
I guess this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but I'm over the Pro controller or the Elite controller thing.
I like my triggers, and the Steam Deck has only reinforced that, or the paddles rather. So
I mean, you're so cool.
I know. I'm so above these concerns of the little people and their Elite controllers. I mean, look, we're already paying like $70 or $80 for a PlayStation 5 controller.
How much is this gonna cost?
And it's good.
It's gonna be $200.
It feels good.
Then Hideo Kojima came on, and we were doing a podcast, and Dan Riker was like, if Hideo Kojima comes on, we have to stop everything, hit the Hideo Kojima button.
Well, because big news will be happening. Well, we know he's been editing something.
Right.
What could it be?
What could it be? And so we stopped the podcast, and we saw, and I'm like, before he said it, we're looking, that's a big audio panel behind him, and that's
There's a Spotify
giant
logo.
Spotify logo over his shoulder. Oh my God, is he doing a podcast? And then like 5 seconds later, I'm doing a podcast exclusive with Spotify. Jeff Keighley's going to do news on the show, I guess.
Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak a lot of English, right?
So yeah, apparently we're going to have a live translator, like translate it to English for that the English podcast.
But like, are you going to hear his original Japanese under it, next to it? Like,
that's a very good question.
I don't understand.
It's gonna be the first audio podcast with subtitles.
Yeah. I only watch dubs. I'm a heathen. It's Spotify, so it's also gonna have a video component. They make. I guess people don't know that Spotify makes a big deal about video podcast. Like when you use their Anchor service, they own Anchor. It's like, hey, upload a video version. We'll put video ads in your thing. Obviously, they're selling a lot of video ads or something like that. That's why they care about it. So the thing he was showing that he was editing the other day was probably the first episode of the podcast, right?
So I think that's absolutely right. But maybe we can make a video ad, Jeff. We can get it in there. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, we do a video ad on Kojima's podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a marketing budget. I'll show you. It's like tens of dollars, so let's go for it.
We'll get a GoFundMe.
We need to raise money for a commercial to raise money.
That's right.
And then Minnie showed off a Pokemon Pikachu car. It's an electric car, so there's
something there.
Obviously,
So, like, what's going to be the ground card? Is it going to be a car with a giant drill on it? The ride.
That's like a slot car.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I mean, yeah.
It's just a concept car. I think they're not. I don't.
Are
think
they actually making it?
I don't think they're actually making it.
You can't buy a Pikachu car.
In the car.
Well, play video games while you're driving. There's Mewtwo.
So
There's
I guess they're just advertising. They're just advertising the car. That's all that's happening here.
Yeah. That was it, huh? That was the show.
That was the show. And now I'm realizing I gotta have something to play in the background because I don't have a one-up that doesn't have a side
we
thing.
could have saved everybody 90 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. I always hate being like a cynical jerk. I did not like this show very much. I thought it was very long. I thought there were a lot of CG trailers. I wasn't even expecting a lot of announcements, really. I already got that vibe from before, but eh.
It felt like it was a show in search of content rather than content looking for a show.
Yeah,
Video audio's bad.
Yeah, I got it. I fixed it. It's the kind of thing where he has to do one of these every year, like you said, AJ.
Right.
So it's like, at a certain point, he's got to lower the barrier of entry, and because of the advertisements, it probably does have to be a certain length to sort of balance everything out, and be like, we can't do 15 ads in a row, so we got to have so much content before we get back to the ads. So I don't know. You could just ignore it if you are someone out there who can ignore it. Like as someone that has to cover it, if you're covering it live.
I guess that's what maybe that's part of my not resentment, but it's like I have to watch this.
Right.
I didn't have to, but I still did for some reason.
I mean, a lot of people do, and that's why these shows are like successful for Jeff Keighley. He makes a lot of money from these things. So
I feel like part of the problem is like Jeff Keighley's brand is starting to become world premiere.
yeah.
And when you watch like the Game Awards, you see the world premiere of something legit big, like a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. Oh my god! But then you take that same world premiere mentality to a show like this, it's like,
well, it's like the old breaking news thing, right?
Exactly,
Like breaking news
exactly.
used to mean like this is important news. Then it's like, well, literally this news is breaking us. Well, literally this is the first time anybody's seeing this video we're about to show you, so it is a world premiere. Like,
Yeah.
well, okay,
Yeah.
but the spirit of world premiere is gone.
And I mean, I get how these things happen, like over time, where like, hey, you're a marketer when it comes down to
Yeah.
it. So you're like,
Right.
yeah, he's going to end up going down those marketing pathways. It's still kind of, it lessens the show overall and makes it sort of boring for long periods of time. I would struggle to like, now that we're done talking about those games, Lies of P, because I had that video on repeat
Yeah.
for a long time. That's coming to mind.
That
Killer
looks
Clowns from Outer
good.
Space, because I broke it.
It's
but
like
beyond
Gotham was
that-
better than it used to.
Yeah.
Some like release dates for Monkey Island, Sonic.
yeah, Monkey Island Sonic were my takeaways from this. I mean, all this stuff like kind of falls in the double A space to me, which works because I hope to get a lot of that in either Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, and that's how I'll experience most of this stuff. I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy. I can't even think of anything to make an example of. Like that's where I am,
Right.
in that headspace.
Right. I mean, it's hard when you they don't really have the big three coming yet. Sony show your controller. But, you know, you're not having the biggest publishers getting involved in this. They're waiting for the Game Awards, or they're just going to do their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, the most AAA you had was Dead Island and
Island.
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
Protocol. So like,
Yeah. Warner Brothers Games Multiversus has surpassed 20 million players in a month. This comes from Dean Takahashi at Games.
That guy, I know him.
Warner Brothers Games announced today that Multiversus, the free-to-play platform fighter, has now surpassed over 20 million players since the open beta started on July 26th. The milestone follows the kickoff of Multiversus Season 1, which began August 15th, with a new battle pass for players to earn in-game rewards. Mike, my first question to you is, did you edit this and add in platform fighter, or does Dean Takahashi know that the genre is called platform fighter?
I did not have to put that in for him. He knows about
can be
platform.
taught.
He knows about platform fighters.
He's learning. He's learning.
I was very proud. Single tear went down my cheek.
20 million players is kind of nuts for this. I mean, it's
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, free to play, recognizable IP. It's not too surprising. I mean, it's not on the Switch, which is to its detriment, I think. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah, it will be
makes sense.
someday though, and then that'll be a
Yeah,
boost.
it'll get another
That'll
launch.
come later.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a big boost.
And when Spike from Gremlins is in there, it's going to go to 50 million.
Right, exactly. That's what it's all about. Is that Gremlins
So
idea.
is this game not going to get Lord of the Rings characters anymore? Because wasn't Gandalf in that original leak, and we haven't heard about him,
He's
and
been
now
embraced.
now he's been embraced. Is that what's going on?
That's probably the case.
That's a
yeah.
bummer.
But-
Well,
Change it to
I
Dumbledore.
wonder if there's like movie characters that they. I mean, yeah, it's tough to say. There's gonna be a legal battle.
Is it gonna just be Alfred, the guy with the unibrow from the Hobbit movies? Is that all we're gonna get? Oh
Movie
no!
characters, yeah.
The Hobbit movie OCs.
I was like, I'm so glad Lucy's on vacation because I was so close to being like, there is a Lord of the Rings character, Arya. Like that's where I'm like, it's all
no.
fantasy. Like
Oh,
she would have ganked me.
No, I'm gonna beat you. How dare you?
That's awful. This isn't your show anymore. Get
All right, bye everybody.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. You got a thing here. What's the?
All right.
What do these buttons do?
What do these buttons do? Obsidian's Pentiment is releasing November 15th. Obsidian Entertainment and the team behind Pentiment are very happy to announce the game will be launching on November 15th for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows PC, Steam, and Xbox Game Pass for console and PC. Pre-orders for the game are open today, as well as pre-installs being available with Game Pass. This is the other Obsidian game that's not grounded and not one of their other major games. It's got that wooden classic art style.
Okay, right. Yes. That's the one that got
The
announced a
Chaucer
little
one.
bit ago.
Right,
Yes.
yeah. Josh Sawyer's game. And I'm kind of hoping... I have big hopes for this. Like, I want it to be my next The Return of the Obra Dinn. Because it's a murder mystery game.
Cool art style, yeah.
Cool art style. And then, like, you know, it's someone who's known for when you get into a situation... Josh Sawyer usually gives you an interesting way to talk yourself out or puzzle your way out, and it's not always about like combat or something like that. Now this entire game is that you know blown up, so I'm very ready for it. People were very, I think, off put by the art at first. I hope that they come around and like give it a chance because it's like it's going for a very specific thing.
Well, it'll be on Game Pass anyways.
Exactly.
Right. So,
Right.
People should try it.
Dunuvo by Irdeto launches the industry's first Nintendo Switch emulator protection. That's both the Dunuvo and Irdeto sound like characters from Pinocchio.
Yeah. Mamma Mia, I'm talking the Nuvo.
So the global leader in providing security solutions for video games on desktop, console, and mobile platforms, is pleased to unveil a revolutionary technology.
Well, do they know what revolutions are? What did they think?
They never played Revolution X.
That word is lost on
They
me.
never played Revolution X, exactly. To protect games launching on Nintendo Switch from piracy. The announcement comes as the video game industry is gathered for this year's Gamescom, currently taking place in Cologne, blah, blah, blah. Nintendo consoles have long suffered from piracy issues, and the Switch is no different. Even if a game is protected against piracy on its PC version, the released version on Switch can be emulated from day one and played on PC. Therefore, they're saying, hey, we need to do something about this. Now, interestingly, they don't mention anything about how this works.
Yeah.
It's just a new product that's going to block stuff. My guess here is there was stuff on the DS where I remember trying to play a version of Dragon Quest or whatever, and I'm like, why isn't this working? I'm like, I'm playing the pirated version. And so it would only keep me on the boat. And so I couldn't go past that.
New.
Right. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So there might be something along those lines where you can load it up and it might confuse you into thinking you have the real deal thing.
Right.
Are you calling the police?
Hardware check.
911. Yes, I'm sitting here by somebody who just admitted to pirating, I think, Dragon Quest IX. So back in 2008, but I'm sure there's not a statute of limitations on that. This monster needs to be put away.
I was just 40 years old. Okay.
I guess my question, Jeff, is because you've been saying how Nintendo's getting worried about piracy on the Switch and how that's maybe a reason why we do get a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 soon. Does this curtail that?
I don't think so. I think Nintendo knows that, if this was a real deal solution, they would have announced it with Nintendo or Nintendo.
Yeah, it's not like done in partnership with Nintendo.
No.
I assume developers have to license this.
Right, and this is hey, third parties come here if you're worried about this stuff.
Right.
And I'm I think that for the most part, Nintendo's we're going to have to figure this out on our own. They've seen some things like this before, I'm assuming. I don't think this is actually revolutionary anti-piracy technology.
It's been pointed out to me in chat that maybe I should not be calling the police after talking about how much I love murdering on this show. Might be
What are your hobbies, sir?
Well, I love to just kill people. I love to see the life leave their eyes.
But I would never pirate a video game.
Well, I'm not a monster.
Phil Spencer did an interview where he said exclusivity on one device is something we're just going to see less and less of. Not too surprising, but he says, Spencer, who has pledged to make Call of Duty available for rival Sony PlayStation, at least for some period of time, said the idea of games made exclusively for one device is something we're just going to see less and less of. Maybe you happen in your household to buy an Xbox and I buy a PlayStation, and our kids want to play together, and they can't because we bought the wrong piece of plastic to plug into our television. He said, we really love to be able to bring more players in, reducing friction, making people feel safe and secure when they're playing, allowing them to find their friends. Basically, I think he's continuing to do this crossplay too, and hey, we are not interested in locking people out as we acquire
easy
more
to
and
say
more.
when you're in second place.
Yeah. and also easy to say when you're the one acquiring everybody. So it's we're not going to cause issues as we do acquire all these massive things. So I think this is the kind of thing that regulators want to hear from them. So that's why they're
Which,
saying
to be fair, is something he's been saying for years. So
Absolutely.
It's not like this is some out of the blue thing.
He also mentioned in this interview that he wants to make more acquisitions outside of North America and the European Union.
Oh no, not more Sega rumors.
Welcome back, the Sega rumors. While Microsoft is focused on competing with Activision or completing the Activision acquisition, Spencer said he remains on the hunt for more content, whether by investing in new games, partnerships, or further deals. Xbox wants to add content and creators in the regions of the globe where it's less strong.
Yeah, just wait till they buy Square Enix.
Right, exactly.
Really flip the role on its head.
There would be. I would log off of Twitter.com that day.
Yes, well, I would just get the popcorn. I remember when Final Fantasy 13 went to Xbox.
Multi-plat. Oh my god.
And the videos are people crying, we gotta go get Halo. Get that on PlayStation.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
You kids.
More people are gonna play this game.
Crazy
it's only
kids.
ours.
Here's a story I just added before, so I'm going to catch up with all y'all.
Okay.
Let's chat help me out with this. Game publisher P-Cube accused of predatory practices and being manipulative. At the end of this, P-Cube does have an update where they added a statement. P-Cube, a game publisher that has over 50 games on Steam, has been accused of engaging in predatory practices. Let's see, Mojikin Studio, I might have copy and pasted this wrong. Mojikin Studio, who are currently working on a slice of life adventure game. These are developers that have worked with P-Cube. Space for the Unbound. They have accused P-Cube of some pretty shady behavior on Twitter and in an official Steam news post. In the statement, they mentioned
right on Steam.
Yeah, right on Steam. They mentioned that P-Cube had left them feeling manipulated and exploited, leading to them terminating an agreement. According to Toge and Mojiken, the people at P-Cube pulled in funding from a diversity fund that's supposed to help underrepresented game devs. However, instead of giving it to the developers, they hid it and then used it for their own gain, including using it to negotiate and increase in their own revenue share from the developers. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's like
good.
shady in a way that, like, you know, of course you would want to like explode. This isn't just like, oh, I didn't get enough money.
Right,
This is like comic book supervillain.
Right,
hijinks.
yeah. So this is what the studio said, or what PQ had to say in response. We have honored all our obligations for the publishing agreement and have supported Toge Productions at every stage of product development throughout their delays and difficulties. This support has included offering significant further funding over and above grant funding to support development, porting, and marketing. Toge Productions have sought for some time to unilaterally enforce unreasonable revised terms to our agreement, and it's disappointing that, as a result of not achieving that, and despite P-Cube's significant efforts to accommodate this, they have sought to deal with this matter in this way. We will respond through the appropriate channels. So they're just going like, oh, they're being unreasonable, which is always a possibility. Mm-hmm. But if that original claim,
the specific claims,
and they didn't seem to really dispute that necessarily.
Right.
So.
Yeah, if that's true, it's like, okay, this doesn't look good for P-Cube, and it's gonna like they should probably make the effort to fix this rather than deny it, because it's gonna help them in the long run. Because who's gonna want to work with P-Cube if something like that could happen?
Their name's P-Cube.
Yeah.
Lies of P-Cube. I'm a comedic genius, I know.
All right. For the catch-up, I just got the Splatoon 3 previews.
I was not invited to that. Imagine that. Still in Nintendo jail.
Yep. Listen, there are no cat shines in this game, so you can't ruin it for them.
I'll find some way. Don't worry.
We're going to get more from this game in a Treehouse Live tomorrow. But
we're going to be able to play it soon. There's
this weekend.
Exactly. And like, but we're going to see the single player in the Treehouse Live, supposedly. But, the thing for this, I watched a little bit of the Digital Foundry thing. They seem pretty impressed with the way the game is looking and running.
Good.
Which is, hey, great news. They're using AMD FSR. If they talk about that in the video,
really?
Yeah, FSR 1.0, because we're still unsure if 2.0 can run on the Switch.
They're always using 1.0 when we want 2.0. Wasn't that like the Tegra chip? There was a 2, and we got the 1.
There was definitely an improved Tegra. Yeah, yeah, exactly, for sure. It's neat that this is like, okay, it's coming out, it's going to run great and look kind of better than ever.
I am still shocked that they're actually using your Nintendo account to like keep your online stats synced. And then your single player progress will just be a normal cloud save. Like,
yeah, that
feels like the future for Nintendo.
It's not even.
I mean, Splatoon 2 was notorious for not working with that stuff.
Yeah, I had to do a system transfer to my OLED to keep any of that stuff intact.
All right. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and we are, like you said. So we get the Treehouse Live tomorrow, and then the 28th, I think, is the first Splatoon.
It's this Saturday. It's just Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Rock paper scissors.
Noon to midnight, I think.
Wait. What? Okay. Wait. Don't say it. We're gonna play paper scissors rock, and we're all gonna show which team where. No. Ohio rules. Ohio rules are
no, they're
paper,
not.
scissors, rock,
that
and you
is
throw
insane.
on rock.
Rock.
You live in Ohio now. You gotta get with it.
I learned this in Columbus.
All right. Who votes for doing it my way?
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
Okay.
Democracy.
Damn it.
All right.
Gonna have to
Remember, you do it on rock. Okay. Paper, scissors, rock. Oh no! I got destroyed.
Double team.
Oh no! Scissor me, daddy! It was an Ask Daddy. Shit. I ruined it. It's an AEW thing. You gotta get away with it, Edge guy.
Okay.
It's what the cool kids say.
All right. So me and AJ will be on a team for this, and Mike are gonna be all alone.
Apparently. Scissor boys, rise up.
All right, let's see. Let's bring up the poll from yesterday. Let me bring this here and switch over to it. I asked, is your excitement more, less, or unaffected after seeing the Saints Row reviews?
I love the Morris.
I get it, I think.
Yeah. Part of me, I was like, I wasn't very interested. And now it's like,
how bad could it be?
So it's 1.7% of people said they're more excited, and then had to just be like, oh, I didn't even know the game existed. So technically, I am more excited.
Speaking of not knowing it existed, they did not market this very much at all.
I mean, again, we don't. This could be a normal embrace of marketing campaign.
In my group of friends, when someone posted the Metacritic, the response was, "That's out."
Right.
Yeah.
And see, 30.6% said I'm less excited. 56.4% said I never cared.
Oof.
and 11.3% said excitement is unaffected. You've been playing this, right?
No.
Oh, no, okay. I'm like, I have it up for PS5. I haven't loaded it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm probably still going to play it a little bit this week just to kind of get a good idea of like, for myself. And people said those first few hours are okay.
Yeah.
And if it gets bad after that, whatever. But that's kind of where
It's just so weird because like no one cared about Saints Row until it got like wacky and crazy with 3.
Well, Saints Row 1 and 2 did okay because they were like the early. They were
in
the
that
GTA games
zeitgeist,
that
but
were
they were
on
always-
360 before
Right.
GTA was
But
on
they're always
360.
lesser than.
But this could have done that too because we're in another GTA drought right now.
But
So
we
like,
have so many open world games now. You don't
we have
GTA
we have a lot of
scratch
open
that
world
itch.
games, but we don't have open world drive around a city games so much
Like
anymore.
you didn't play Watch Dogs Legion or don't
Legion
know.
was already a while ago. No one liked Legion, right? Maybe
Yeah,
they
but
liked
no one likes this either.
People liked 2, I think. But I mean, that's really it. It's not like before we had like all the mafias and they would just make a freaking Godfather game and all that stuff. So I think this had to. If they wanted to go back to basics, they could have done that. If they wanted to just go more crazy, they should have done that too. I don't know what this is.
All right.
like, it tries to live in the middle.
Are we supposed to think about a poll this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh,
let's,
yeah.
Let's do what
Rock,
your most...
paper, scissors.
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Just take that, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Who's in jail now? Yeah. It's a prisoner riot.
You're in Game Mass morning jail now, Nintendo. I was gonna say, like, what's your most, like, what game did you care most about from Gamescom? Opening
That's
night live?
could do that.
And we
Yeah.
could pick 4 games to put on the thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
you should probably put Lies of P because I think
Right.
it's gonna
Lies
win.
P, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Dead
Island.
Maybe
Dead Island, yeah.
Dead Island 2. And maybe actually Moonbreaker. Is that the one with the miniatures?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
that's usually
Hideo
cool.
Kojima's podcast.
No, because then that'll just win.
All right,
Oh shit! You put me to work?
yeah, put you to work. All right, let's see how he
Right,
does,
monkey.
everybody. Which game?
Oh shit! I'm blowing it. I'm not used to this keyboard. I
That's
usually
not true,
perform
though.
better than this.
Jumping from keyboards is like a surprisingly difficult
Yeah,
thing.
even like going from like
How
the
do you,
laptop.
how do you
here.
guys
yeah.
spell the Oppo?
O and L.
Oh,
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Which they did say out loud at the show.
They
several
did?
times. Oh yeah, they kept
Right.
saying the
Oh, I
you
know.
Here on
The
O and
O&L.
L. I was like, oh okay. That's
It sounds like a deeply conservative cable news
what
channel.
was that
Best.
Bungie game before Halo? Was that Oni?
Yes,
That's
Oni,
Which one of
yes,
these is
yeah.
the poll? Is this the poll?
Yes,
yeah.
that's the pull button.
Okay. Lies.
Lies of P.
Oh, just P. what else now?
Dead Island 2.
Yeah. And then you have to hit the plus button.
I know about the plus button.
Okay, he knows all of it. Then Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's K, yeah, and then for clowns as well.
Isn't it a Z?
It might be a Z, yes.
Is there Z's involved?
No, it's an S. It's an S.
Oh,
It's
shit.
That's a missed opportunity.
From
From
outer space. Oh shit!
just go Killer Clowns.
Kills grounds from OS. From operating system.
From ONL OS.
And then what would we say? Wave
What's it called?
No, it's a moon.
Moonbreaker.
Moonbreaker.
Yeah, moon. That sounds like a fucking James Bond.
I mean, isn't it? It's Moonraker.
Moonraker.
Very close.
So we're
Yes.
very close.
All right. Well, there we go, everybody. One day to vote on that. We'll come back with this one tomorrow.
Did I make sure I spelled this? All right, looked best. We got this. All right.
I think you did
Which
great.
one looks beast? No.
Yeah, no Homeworld, no McGowan. Look, I know things are missing. McGowan, we've seen a bunch of. We've seen Homeworld before.
Yeah, but that's good. Most
That's
of the
why
files
no-
will be people like yelling like, "Why do you hate this game?"
Yeah, and like
That's
Callisto
just
Protocol,
engagement,
we've
baby.
seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Oh, dude, that's right. That Sakurai YouTube channel. I need to see that.
Right. Yeah, Sakurai. He's gonna like just talk about making games.
He's gonna teach me how to make my own F-Zero or Star Tropics. I don't.
Mike Zero.
I don't need Nintendo anymore.
All right, we got a little bit of time left. I want to ask. You guys used to do a podcast called Exploding Barrel.
Exploding Barrel
true.
podcast.
It was a video game podcast. That you guys, when did you guys start it?
2007,
Yeah,
August.
we did that. We basically did that up until our podcast really started picking up, Jeff.
Yeah, you replaced me.
Uh,
Not that I'm bitter.
the one was giving me money.
Yeah, turns out.
Speaking of
And I
which,
had kids, so I had no time.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys have did hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
started because I had just moved to LA, and we were having these like hour-long phone conversations anyway. It was just like, well, let's just record this and see what happens, and then we just kind of got in that habit for 10 years, more than that.
Do you miss it, AJ?
I do. Honestly, when I swapped in for Mike when he was at Summer Game Fest, I was like, oh, podcast about video games, but there's an audience now. Boy, this is fun.
It's fun when people interact and listen.
yeah, that's a good time. So like
That's
this
good
right
stuff.
now, I'm
But
enjoying this immensely.
we do a Disney podcast together with our other brother, 90s
That's right.
Disney. So we get to podcast with each other still and mess around with your toys every once in a while. So It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And AJ, I'll get you on a Game Mess Morning by yourself without this bad.
What?
boy.
Is that even allowed? Is that legal?
I'm gonna make it
I'll
happen.
make it legal.
From 90s Disney. I'll make it.
Thank you for
I am
setting
the
that
law.
up.
All right. Let's see.
We got a wrestling show to get to tonight. We're going to AEW
yeah.
live in Cleveland tonight.
AEW.
Let's go.
Mike was explaining all the storylines.
I was explaining the backstage drama. Maybe it worked.
Yeah,
maybe it
maybe
should.
no one likes CM Punk. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't wear my CM Punk shirt this time. It felt a little spicy. Also, Kenny came back anyways, and I love Kenny.
Is he
your
is
best
Kenny
friend.
wrestling?
He's not on the card. I'm assuming he might show up. I hope he doesn't show up just like in a backstage segment. I hope we see him.
I want to see
It actually
him.
comes
I
out.
love
Didn't I play Street Fighter? Do you remember?
Yeah, you played Street Fighter against him, so yeah.
Yeah, I did. He destroyed me. He's actually very good. But we're gonna see Dax from FTR versus Jay Lethal. That should be great. We're going to Will Ospreay's there because he's part of the trios tournament, and Will Ospreay from New Japan is very good. It should be a good show, and the world title match. So that's insane for a Dynamite. It'll be great.
It's Wednesday here on Giant Bomb. That means as Game Mess Mornings is finishing up, we are going to go right into Sekiro Choa with Jam when he's ready. So
He says he's ready for the baton pass whenever you are.
Thank you very much. That's fantastic. And then later, the Arcade Pit. Al Bummer is going up today, and Jeff's Bizarre Adventure as well. So check all that out. And then, I don't know, keep up with us on Twitter as you see my first wrestling show.
Yeah, we're going to take Jeff some more Cleveland haunts. We're going to Michael Simon. Yes, the Iron Chef's barbecue restaurant today.
I'm so excited.
That's the plan.
I'm so excited.
Mabel, so hopefully it'll be a good time.
Thank you all for tuning in. You guys are the best audience in gaming. I hope this true gaming mess was fun for you. AJ, Mike, thanks you guys so much for doing
Yeah,
this.
thanks for having us, man.
And
Appreciate
you know
it.
what? And thank you for being here on time. You guys got here
Just
on time.
made it.
Perfect. It's all part of the plan.
Right, it worked out great.
All right, time to put you through the table now.
All right, that's it. All right, till next time, everybody. We'll see you then. Have a good one. All right,
Wait, hang on.
whatever
It is.
Let me give you
What do you want me to do? Stop. You're like presenting. All
right, here we go.
Never mind. I'm not in the mood anymore. You ruined it.
Bye.